Breaking news out of Washington. Social Security, the backbone of retirement for over 65 million Americans, just became the center of Donald Trump's newest political move. And if you're collecting benefits, or about to, listen very carefully, because what's happening right now could change your monthly check sooner than anyone expected. For years, both parties have fought over how to fix Social Security's future. But this time, it's not about cuts. It's about a promise, one that could put more money directly into seniors' pockets. Trump's latest plan is making headlines, shaking up Capitol Hill, and sending shockwaves through retirement communities across the country. So what's really going on? Why are seniors suddenly being called the big winners? And could this move actually boost benefits before the next election? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll break down what this new plan means, how it could impact your benefits, and what you need to do right now to stay ahead of it. This story isn't just about politics. It's about your money, your future, and a turning point in how America takes care of its seniors. Now, here's what's really happening behind the scenes. Behind closed doors in Washington, sources are confirming that Donald Trump has been working with a small group of economic advisors on what they're calling the Senior Prosperity Agenda, a direct response to rising inflation, record living costs, and the growing fears around Social Security's long-term funding. The centerpiece of his plan? A new formula for calculating cost of living adjustments, or COLA. Instead of relying on the outdated Consumer Price Index, Trump's team wants to tie future Social Security increases to the Retiree Inflation Index, a more accurate reflection of what seniors actually spend on things like healthcare, prescription drugs, housing, and utilities. That may sound like a small change, but it's huge. Because according to early projections from policy analysts close to the plan, this could mean an average annual increase of 4.8% in benefits, nearly double the rate retirees have seen in the past few years. And that's not all. The plan also includes a tax relief provision for seniors earning under $60,000 a year. That means millions of retirees could keep more of their Social Security income instead of sending it back to the IRS. Trump's advisors are calling it a retirement rescue mission. And politically, it's a bold move, one designed to win over America's largest voting bloc, seniors. But here's what's catching everyone off guard. The proposal isn't just talk. According to insiders, Trump's team has already held meetings with several key figures in Congress, including lawmakers who previously opposed Social Security reforms. Even some Democrats are quietly signaling support, seeing this as an opportunity to finally modernize a system that's been stuck in the 1980s. One Washington analyst put it bluntly, this could be the biggest Social Security shift in 40 years, and it's being framed as a win-win for both seniors and the economy. Now, of course, not everyone's on board. Critics are warning that these benefit increases could strain the Social Security Trust Fund even further unless new revenue streams are found. But Trump's economic team claims they have that covered, proposing to redirect portions of unspent COVID relief funds and foreign tariffs into what they're calling the Senior Stability Reserve, a buffer meant to protect the program for at least another decade. Still, the real reason this plan is making headlines isn't just about economics, it's about timing. Because all of this is unfolding as the next election season heats up. And if this proposal moves forward quickly, seniors could start seeing the first phase of changes as early as next summer, just months before votes are cast. Think about that for a second. An increase in benefits, right before an election, backed by a major political name. It's no wonder Washington insiders are calling this the retirement surprise. But before you get too excited, there's something you need to understand. This plan could help millions, yes, but it also comes with fine print that most people haven't read yet. And that fine print could decide who actually benefits the most. Now, let's break down exactly what this means for you, how it could impact your Social Security checks, your taxes, and even your Medicare coverage. If Trump's Senior Prosperity Agenda rolls out as outlined, the first major change will hit the Cost of Living Adjustment, or COLA. For decades, these adjustments were based on the General Consumer Price Index, which tracks things like electronics, gasoline, and clothing. But here's the problem. Seniors don't spend most of their money on those things. They spend it on medical bills, groceries, rent, and energy, all of which have skyrocketed in recent years. Under the new plan, COLA increases would be tied to what economists call the Retiree Inflation Index, a formula that reflects seniors' actual spending habits. According to early projections, this could lead to an average increase of around $92 a month for the typical retiree. For lower-income seniors, those increases could go even higher, as much as $110 per month, depending on income and region. Now, that might not sound life-changing, but think about what that means over time. That's more money for medication, groceries, or simply breathing room in a tight budget. And for millions of retirees living on fixed incomes, that's a game changer. But the benefits don't stop there. Trump's proposal also includes a new tax exemption for retirees making less than $60,000 a year. Right now, up to 85% of your Social Security income can be taxed depending on your total earnings. This change would cut that tax burden in half for most middle and lower-income seniors, putting more cash directly back into your pocket. And there's another piece getting attention: Medicare premiums. Under the Senior Prosperity Agenda, the government would freeze Medicare Part B premiums for the next 2 years to offset rising costs. That's right. Instead of watching your premium climb every January, it would stay flat through at least 2027. But, and this is important, there's a catch. Analysts warn that while the plan sounds generous, funding it will be the biggest challenge. The Social Security Trust Fund is already projected to run short by 2033. So the Trump team's proposal includes redirecting tariff revenue, as well as trimming what they call wasteful administrative overhead. Critics say that might not be enough. One nonpartisan budget group estimated the plan could add $190 billion to Social Security's shortfall over 10 years unless Congress identifies new funding sources. Others, however, argue that economic growth generated by higher spending from seniors could offset much of that cost. So what does that mean for you? It means opportunity, but also uncertainty. If the plan passes, your monthly check could grow, your taxes could shrink, and your healthcare costs could stabilize. But if funding debates stall in Congress, those changes could be delayed or watered down. And here's another twist. According to internal memos circulating on Capitol Hill, the first COLA recalculation could start in July next year, affecting payments that go out in the fall. That means retirees could see larger checks before the 2026 election season, marking one of the fastest benefit adjustments in U.S. history. Of course, not everyone would feel the same impact. Retirees already earning over $90,000 a year would see little to no change. The biggest gains would go to those in the lower to middle income brackets, roughly 70% of all Social Security recipients. Now, you might be wondering, what about younger Americans? Well, the plan does include a nod to future retirees, a proposal to allow workers under 40 to divert a small percentage of their payroll taxes into personal retirement accounts, similar to a government-backed 401k. The goal? To take pressure off the main Social Security fund while giving workers more control over their future savings. But the truth is, everything hinges on timing. If Congress moves quickly, you could see higher checks and lower taxes within a year. If gridlock hits, this entire plan could stall before it ever reaches the president's desk. So, before you celebrate, remember, the details are still being negotiated. And the people who will gain the most are the ones who stay informed and take the right steps now. Because what happens next will surprise a lot of Americans, especially those who don't pay attention until it's too late. Now, let's talk about exactly what you should do to prepare, the steps you can take right now to make sure you're ready for these changes, and how to protect your benefits no matter what happens in Washington. Here's what you need to do right now to stay ahead. First, go to ssa.gov and make sure your information is up to date. Check your payment details, mailing address, and direct deposit info. Why? Because any official updates, payment increases, or COLA changes will show up there first. Not on social media, not in the news, but straight from the source. Second, mark your calendar for the next Social Security Trustees report, expected this spring. That's when analysts will reveal the official funding forecast. And if the Senior Prosperity Agenda has been factored in, you'll see it there. That report will be the biggest clue about how close these changes are to becoming real. Third, if you're collecting benefits or planning to retire within the next 12 months, talk to your financial advisor or a certified Social Security specialist. Ask about how a COLA recalculation or tax exemption could affect your income bracket. You don't want to be caught off guard by how these adjustments could shift your taxable income, Medicare premiums, or retirement distributions. Fourth, Pay close attention to the dates. If the administration's timeline holds, the retiree inflation index could be adopted by July next year, with updated payments starting as early as October. That means you could see a bigger Social Security deposit before the end of the year, if the plan gets the green light. And here's another tip. Stay skeptical but alert. You're going to see a wave of headlines, some exaggerated, some political, and some flat-out false. Stick to official updates from SSA.gov, Medicare.gov, and trusted financial outlets. Don't fall for random emails or phone calls promising bonus benefits or early checks. Those are scams, and scammers love moments like this. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. If you've ever felt like the system forgot you, like your years of hard work, taxes, and savings weren't being valued, this could finally be the moment that changes. For the first time in decades, seniors are not on the sidelines of America's financial debate. They're at the center of it. This plan, if it succeeds, could raise monthly benefits, protect Medicare costs, and bring long overdue fairness to the retirement system. And even though it's being driven by politics, it's shining a spotlight on an issue that touches every family in this country. So, whether you support the plan or not, one thing's clear: Social Security is no longer just a budget line. It's a battleground for America's future. And that means your attention, your awareness, and your voice matter more than ever. Before you click away, remember this: the more informed you are, the more protected you'll be. Your benefits are your right, but understanding how they change is your responsibility. So do this right now. Check your Social Security account. Stay tuned to verified updates. And subscribe here, because we'll keep breaking down every twist and turn before it hits the mainstream news. No matter what happens in Washington, remember, this is your money, your future, and your power. And for the first time in a long time, it looks like seniors are finally coming out on top. Stay informed, stay prepared, and never let anyone else decide your financial future for you.